everybody. I am Bert Eiler. This is National Center for Police Defense TV. First Watch Pro Police News. I'm here with my co-host, Jim Fotis. Jim, how you doing today?
Doing well, Bert, and as usual, you're looking very good in our new line of shirts
You
that
like
it's
that?
coming out. Yeah, I
It's
like it.
looking good.
Like it
Looking
very
good.
much.
I have some great news, Jim. I was invited to an event called Strengthen America by the Patriot Freedom Project. And what they're doing is bringing awareness, especially to the weaponization of the federal government, along with they've been helping a lot with the J6ers.
Very
And
good.
they had a lot of good people there. Ed Martin, who's the pardon attorney for the president, he was there. Some other attorneys that were helping with all the J6ers, but I had the opportunity to meet one of our new cases, Teresa Kirk with Scott Matthews. He's the correctional officer that's in prison right now. We'll talk about that case a little bit later. But there was also four officers from East Haven, Connecticut, and they were basically prosecuted, and their case is over. They actually spent time in jail or in prison for doing their job. The Obama administration and the AG Older went after them big time. And for enforcing the laws, they found this ring that was making fake license plates and insurance out of Philadelphia, and illegal aliens were buying them, putting them on their cars. They noticed that in their small town because they were a sanctuary city, and they started busting these people and arresting them and doing their job. And the federal government went after them for civil rights violations and locked them up. Four decorated officers, and they just now they're working with the Patriot Freedom Project to get pardons from the president. And I was like, it was amazing. It was a really good event.
Well, that's what we formed National Center for Police Defense during the Obama administration when they were taking cops that were doing their job the way they were trained and trying to get them locked up. And we've been moving forward since 2015, doing our best to support police officers that, weaponized government's been going after.
Yeah. So that like I said, was a really good event. We're moving forward, getting more information. They are Dennis Spalding was the officer I spoke to, and he's going to help us get in contact with the officer in Connecticut that was just indicted. We'll have more information next time on that. Hopefully, we'll start helping him through the process. So that's kind of exciting.
At some point, maybe we can put up some of these videos, short, and just show how these police officers are doing their job, and then they're indicted for doing their job. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, like we always said, the process is the punishment, right?
That's right. That's
So we're
right.
moving
They
forward.
you start paying, looking for the most, the most versed attorneys in the problems that you have, and it costs you a fortune. And by the time you wind up getting in court, the police officers are broke. Their families wind up breaking up, and our goal at NCPD is to try and keep these police officer families together and try and help them maintain their sanities as they go through the process.
Yeah, you're correct. And just a couple updates on a couple of our cases. They are moving forward with James Brennan's case. He's the officer out of San Antonio, Texas, where he was engaged in talking with an individual that, again, ran from him the night before, opened the car door to talk to him. He threw it into reverse, hit James, dragged him about 20 feet. James, fearing for his life, discharged his weapon, ministered first aid after a short chase. They administered first aid, and now he's up on been indicted, and his trial starts July 29th. So that's going to be about a 3 to 4 week trial. We also have Daniel Sanchez out of Austin, Texas. This is a second trial for him. His first one was a hung jury. The jury could not be unanimous on his case. And what his case is about, Jim, is there's an individual with a rifle. He was shooting into a townhouse. They did know at the time that it was his, and he was having a mental breakdown. Not sure if there was drugs involved, but he had a mental breakdown, shooting into the house. As Daniel Sanchez arrived, it's an active shooter. He gets his rifle, takes cover, gives him commands, does not drop the weapon, and turns towards him. Daniel shoots him. They tried to administer first aid, but sadly he passed away. And they had charged him on it. So hung jury. Now his new trial, because DA Garza in Austin is going after cops left and right. That was his goal. Instead of criminals, let's go after cops. So his second trial starts August 10th. So those are the two updates that I have case wise. And we're still working on some new cases. Like I said, Connecticut, we have another one in Texas as well. So if anybody would like to learn more about that, you can go to our website at www.nationalcenterforpolicedefense.com to get more information on any of our cases. And Jim, we have our two pardon cases. Shane
right.
Lamont, who was a lieutenant in D.C., and Chad Scott was a former DEA agent. And Shane is serving an 18-month sentence for obstruction of justice. And we could probably talk to that more in length. We'd probably be going on for days on that one.
Yes.
And Chad Scott, that was, a case of ours that stemmed, I think, all the way back to 2018, where he had a hung jury, and then he had another trial, which lasted about 7 to 8 days, and the jury came back in 45 minutes. It's asinine. And Chad's been in prison for a little over 4.5 years. So we're hoping that we can get those pardoned. The rumor that we're all hearing is that President Trump, either on his birthday, which is June 14th, or on July 4th, America's birthday, being that it's the 250th birthday of America, that he is looking at signing 250 pardons. We're hoping that their pardons will be there. Not sure if they will, but we're hoping. We're hoping, Jim. We have connections that we're trying to get answers to, and hopefully we'll have some good answers in the next couple of weeks on those.
And these two officers are the epitome of being loyal, perfect police officers. I mean, Chad Scott was highly decorated DEA agent who was number one in arrest in the I-95 corridor, and his men, basically the people that
Mm-hmm.
arrested him and a lot of the people that he worked with, basically took him down by lying. And now we've got the pardon ready, and we just hope that President Scott does come through and sign
Mm-hmm.
that pardon. And of course, Shane Lamont, for over 20 years, ran the Intelligence Bureau of the DC Police, perfect record. And they managed to turn around something that he did within the realm of his job.
Well, everybody, we have our favorite person in the whole wide
Yes.
world, the
And
one, the only, Henry Hollywood
Hollywood,
Morris,
more.
with Support Our Shield. This episode of Two Cops and a Brother. How you
That's
doing,
right.
Henry?
Good morning, brothers. I
Huh?
promise
Huh?
that me and Jim did not coordinate on our 250
I
That's
saw
right.
that.
But he is
I just did
looking very
a little bit of
spiffy today.
NCPD one. And
On our shirts. I
like,
love it,
I'm gonna
Jim.
have to, I'm
Yes,
gonna have
it
to
gets.
get me one.
Yes, you do. I'm like, as we get closer to July, yeah, I have a theme going. But today, guys, I wanted to give you another segment of cops versus chaos. And in most of these cases, the suspect already knows what their intentions are. The officer does not. You guys are reacting in real time. So this is in Central Florida, guys, Orlando to be exact. And you're going to witness how something that should have been pretty much basic with an infraction goes sideways very quickly. And you're going to clearly see who is the instigator.
So give me a second to take the tag off, and then I'll come back up here and get you out of here, okay?
I'll take it off. It's easy.
I got it.
No, pardon me.
Please go have a seat.
It's my car. I'll take
No,
it off.
I did not ask you to get out of the car.
Okay, Aaron,
Go have
why
a
are you
seat.
putting your hands on me?
I did not ask you to get out. Have a seat.
I can get out of the car if I need to. I'm literally
This
taking
is
it
the
off.
last time I'm going to ask you. Have a seat.
I'm trying to get some water out of the car.
You notice first she said she's going to take the tag off. Now it's changed to I want water.
Yeah.
And when do you now? You guys will see a little bit later. I won't pre-lead you too much. I want you to catch it in real time. But yeah, the background is like you said. License suspended, tag is expired, and she's claiming that the paperwork got damaged in her previous home. That's so you knew that before you decided to drive, ma'am.
Correct.
Yep.
Why are you
Stop. Listen.
Don't you put your hands on me. I'm just trying to get some water.
Tango 13, I need another one
Get
right
off
now.
of
It's
me.
at 18.
You better take your hands off of me. Take your hands off of me. Take your hands off of me. Get off of me. Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off of me. I do not know you. Go. Get your hands off of me. I just said something. He's dragging me. He's dragging me. I'm trying to get my girl. Let me go. Put my foot down. I'm gonna walk over there. Stop.
She's gonna walk over there. Yes. Now you see. Did you guys notice? There's also a passenger in the car.
Correct. It seemed like in one of the body camera, you could see in the background over by the car, something about kids.
Yes. He's telling her she has kids and to calm down. She's not even listening to the family member. Probably not the first time. Let's continue.
Can you let me go? Can you let my foot? Let my foot go.
Don't do that.
I'm trying to say.
Don't do that.
I just said. Because I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry. I can't. I was pregnant a couple of days ago. Can you? You are the kind of person. I just said I will help you take off the tag off of my car. You're unkind, racist person. I just want.
Oh.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
The race.
Yep.
Wait, we went from I can't breathe.
Trying to use the race card.
Yeah. Wait, but first she can't breathe. Then she was just trying to help him take the tag off. She was pregnant a few days ago.
Yeah.
What does any of that have to do with you following the instructions from the beginning?
That's right. That's right. I'm at all. I mean, immediately it's the race card. Immediately it's the officer's fault. And I can imagine where the rest of this is going.
Yeah. Well, there's something that has transpired that you guys couldn't see, but let's continue.
And for the beast.
Can you please?
Out of his pocket stuff.
I did not take it out.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Excuse me.
Yes, you did.
Although it wasn't captured on the body cam, as per the police report, Danielle slapped the glasses off the officer's face, leaving him bleeding, then removed his radio and even tried stabbing him with his own pen. She's really on some John Wick shit.
It's on the ground. Get on the ground.
Yeah.
On the ground. Double.
Why are you putting me on the ground?
There's hands in the car.
I'm pregnant. Get off of my stomach. Get off of my stomach.
Hands back to back. Now.
Hey, guys. It's okay. Everything's going to be all right, guys, okay?
I don't want to put my weight on my stomach.
Okay. Give me this one and then we'll go inside.
The ground is. I'm trying to. Ow! I'm pregnant. Get off of my stomach.
Sir, are there any weapons in the car? Do you have any weapons on you? Here, I'm just going to tie you down real quick so you can deal with the kid.
You're scared.
I know. I get it.
We had a smart tag. We're
I
trying
get it.
to fix the car. Go pay the tag stuff.
I got you, man. I got you.
And I told her that the
I don't know what's
officer take
going
the tag.
on.
I said let the officer take the tag off.
And all of a sudden, she started struggling. She reached for the officer and took the pen out. Okay, wow. Put it to her right hand. My impression was she was going to use it as a weapon and stab me. Okay, yeah, in the face or the neck. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, okay. And I screamed at her, got her attention. I reached over and took it from her.
Awesome. Thank you for doing
And
that.
that's when all the
Police arrived. Thank you so much for what you did.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You're not going to get enough credit for it, but just know you did an awesome thing for us. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
An officer that's going to meet us up here. She has more of your property, so we're just going to hang tight for a minute until she meets us here. She's on her way, so maybe five-ish, 10 minutes.
I didn't have any property.
Not like a phone or anything.
That was all in my car.
Okay. Well, like I said, she has something that belongs to you, I guess. Okay.
The female was charged with battery on law enforcement officer, aggravated assault on law enforcement officer, strong arm robbery, criminal mischief, resisting arrest with violence, resisting arrest without violence, depriving officer of communication, child abuse, and driving while license suspended.
They'll take a little snippet of him grabbing her foot, her hollering racist,
Yes.
and that's the snippet they're going to put out and go viral.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what's your take on it, Henry?
Yeah, I thought, well, there's multiple things, but it was typical. And I think that it ties into what you're seeing in Frisco, Texas this past week. This entitlement culture that I'm not accountable for anything because I'm black. And the nation, I think, on a whole is getting sick and tired of it. And so she literally went from, now you hear the boyfriend or the husband, the male, for whoever he is. Do you see how rational he was? She refused to listen to him and escalated that whole situation. Now when she's going to jail with all of these charges, now you see how calm she is in the back of the car? It's a failure on multiple levels. But when you think who invented the quote, guys, it slips my mind, but the quote is this: the chronic victim can never be trusted. If you're always the victim in every situation, you will never take accountability and responsibility. She has her kids in the car. And you heard him say she knew her license was suspended. She knew the tag was expired. He's saying we should just go get this taken care of. You don't want to do that. Now it's the racist, unkind cop. That's the problem.
Right.
And we didn't see or hear where the strong arm robbery came from.
I think that's from taking the pen.
Correct.
Force.
Exactly.
Probably.
Right. That was from the pen.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
thinking.
he definitely slammed her pretty hard. I mean, she was definitely off the wall. And, we used to say over and over again, all of these people, not just black, white, Hispanic, if they just listen to what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Stay in the car, give me your license, and then we'll go from there. And then, like, we never would take the plates. We would have said, we take you to the cab, you can get home from there. We're impounding your car, and you're
Mhm.
going to have to come back. And then if she started getting like that, we would have locked her up right away. I mean, we
Mhm.
wouldn't have grabbed her foot, wouldn't have done that. We would have just put her on the car and locked her up. I mean, he went through a lot of maturations, which actually, in my opinion, caused it to become extremely more than it should have been. If they
Mhm.
put her down, put the cuffs on her, got her in a car, it would have been over in probably 20 minutes, less than pulling her all around and telling her to do this, do that. I just feel it took a long time to get this done. They should have just, she's screaming, yelling, whatever, locked her up, brought her in, and, you know, but, Bert's department did it a lot different, and I'm sure still doing it the same way in New York.
Again, remember, if cops are just hunting black people, then you feel you have the right to react in any way necessary. And it's not just black people. It's this whole post George Floyd scenario is where anybody thinks that if the cops are just pigs, then we can treat them in any kind of way. We don't have to obey authority. And this is how it escalates to that situation. And I couldn't get over the fact you've traumatized your own kids. The cops didn't traumatize your kids. You did. Because that whole situation would have went completely different.
Well, you're also, like you said, the kids are seeing that the law enforcement is assaulting mom, right? When
Exactly.
none of that happened, and I think when you look at it, and you don't have different angles, but I think he's holding on to her leg because she probably, when she smacked him and took the pen and stabbed him with it,
Yes.
right, and he's bleeding, he's probably going, I gotta just hold on for help to come.
Correct.
That's probably why he may have not taken her down or anything, because he had blood dripping down his eye. He really couldn't see, so I'm going to hold on and wait for law enforcement. So
wait for backup.
That's part of it, but like we all said, the plates are dead. You have a suspended license. All these things you knew were wrong when you got into that vehicle and drove.
Yes.
And then you turn around and blame law enforcement for doing their job.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the part that is an epidemic. And that's why you said, Bert, it was important when you said when people clip, clips of a whole interaction of with police and then they mislead and just flat out lie. This is why things like that are so much more damaging than just for that immediate person and that officer. Because again, it paints a false narrative. And this is what fuels a lot of this when we did the Christ and Culture Night, Bert. Like I said, it's turned out to straight out resist. I'm justified in my resisting of being told. And remember, that's why you brought up another point, Bert, of what was taking so long. Remember, that's why the civilian helped out, because I think the officer was disoriented. He's been stabbed a couple of times. And he said, remember, it was his testimony that said he saw her, stab him with the pen. And that's why he grabbed the pen from her.
Right.
So she was determined, guys, that she was not going to do what she was told. And with those charges that she got, the best that outcome she could have hoped for her actions was she had to lay on the hot ground and get skin burn. She could have gotten killed. And she literally, because if she gotten away from him, now what does he have to do next? Because he doesn't know what she's capable of. She's already stabbed him.
Right. Yeah, that one is something to be seen there.
This is an example why I go through so many of these videos, and the one question I have, or I'm constantly yelling at the monitor, is tase them. I wish the tasers would come out earlier to get the people under control.
Yeah, well, I think when it comes to the taser, I mean, sometimes departments can get taser dependent.
Yeah.
To do it. And each department has their own, policies and procedures on when not to deploy
Yeah.
the taser. I don't even know if he had a taser. Some departments don't have tasers,
Gotcha.
right? So if he didn't have a taser, he would have not been able to deploy it.
Yeah.
He probably thought he had the ability to, hold on until help comes. It's an officer decision on that one. She was kind of that passive aggressive. Well, at the beginning, until we realized that she grabbed the pen and stabbed him. But
Yeah.
it's that kind of like, I'm not going to do what you ask, and I'm just going to resist, but not so bad that you're going to have to use any like strikes with your asp or pepper sprays, just enough to not comply, really.
And then we saw when they put her down to cuff her, she was pretty strong.
Yes.
That's what leads me to believe she was probably high on something also.
Yeah, then Jim, she's screaming now that they're hurting her, but the only reason why it took that many officers because you weren't complying in the first place. That's the part about it. You guys have lived it, but when you, from a civilian, when you see this over and over, you're like, you are the problem. You are your problem. It is you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one there, Henry.
Yeah, I like that.
Pretty good.
You are your problem.
I'm Bert Eiler. This is NCPD-TV, First Watch Pro Police News. Until next time, God bless.
God bless, and God bless America.